TK422, one half of Two Kept Mandalorians.
And I am TK420, the other half of Two Kept Mandalorians. And this is YouTube D2.
All right, so Mandalorian Chapter 5, The Gunslinger.
Yes.
Exclamation point.
Exclamation point. Yeah. Probably, I don't know. I don't know. See, I like it all so much. I don't know if I can't even say it was my favorite episode because I love them all so far.
Well, it starts, he's escaping with the baby. And
yep. Gets into a fight, a shootout in space
with a bounty hunter.
Who is a comparable pilot, but not as wily as Din.
So makes short work of him. Lands on Tatooine. With
some major damage to his ship.
Major damage, and he the first thing we see is some pit droids from Phantom Menace come out to try to repair it.
And it almost looks like they're the same three, the Molari and Curly of the bunch.
Maybe that's a bug in the feature.
Maybe it's a bug in the feature. They tend to all be a little screwy.
Maybe some wise guy built them all, or maybe they have machine learning and they were all watching the Three Stooges. It seems like they do a lot of things in their free time when they're on their downtime, like they're playing cards with her.
And what were they playing?
Sabacc.
So they land. Baby Yoda falls asleep. He meets a mechanic lady who is nice, but of course, looking for as much money as she can get.
Doesn't get too much these days.
Huh?
She doesn't get too much these days. She's got to.
Yeah, exactly. So he, goes looking for a
job.
A job, pays the lady 300 the 300 Imperial credits to do some repairs on the ship. Promises more. Says no droids. So
she has to do all the work without droids, which I don't think she does. I think she uses the droids anyway.
I think so too. But so he goes off to the local watering hole. And
do not call it the local watering hole. It is Mos Eisley Cantina.
Yeah, I know.
Jeez.
But
and the bartender's a droid. They went from no droids allowed to a droid being the bartender.
Yeah, well,
a lot of things change when the rebels take over.
So he's sitting in the bar, and the lady's working on the ship. And hears noises, actually, she's playing Sabacc, and she hears noises, tells the droid to get her blaster rifle, and here comes Baby Yoda waddling down the ramp, and so she takes him up and starts taking care of him and feeds him, with the hopes that Mando will pay extra for that, and in the
but it's not a prearranged situation. She plans to bum rush him with, "Hey, I also watched the kid."
Yeah, exactly. So meanwhile, Mando's in the bar or in the cantina, and meets.
There's an alien that looks like a fly in there. I wonder if it was Jeff Goldblum. They should have had him in.
Yeah, but hey, again, fulfilling the whole aliens from 1,000 worlds. We're seeing all kinds of good new stuff, and he's looking for work. Bartender says there isn't any, but then there's this guy sitting in the corner, fresh new kid right off the presses, and
he tries to look like he's been there and done that. He's got kind of a Han Solo vibe for a couple seconds.
Yeah, and Mando soon learns that he's not in the guild, but he's trying to get into the guild, and he has a puck that he has to fulfill. Unfortunately, it's a puck for one of the most dangerous
bounty hunters,
mercenaries out there. Well, I don't think she's a bounty hunter; she's a mercenary.
Yeah, and doesn't she have the Hutts on her side? So it's probably not wise to mess with her in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. And so. He says, "Hey, look, you can keep all the money. I just want into the guild." So he goes and secures a few speeder bikes, and they take off.
He
They run,
destroys the puck so that, or no, he destroys the tracking fob so that he has to bring him with him.
and they run across in the desert. They run across
Tuscan Raiders.
Yeah, they see some with some banthas down in
Eh,
a little gully.
And we learned that if Obi-Wan had known sign language, or Luke had known sign language, a whole bunch of problems could have been solved.
Yeah, yeah. Apparently, they deal with people through sign language, because really, I mean, I don't. Most of their language sounds like grunts and wails,
Mm-hmm.
and even if a person could speak it, why would you want to? It's like trying to speak Wookiee. I mean, we
Hey.
like speaking Wookiee, but some people don't, because it sounds kind of silly
Oh, I don't
when you
think
sit
so.
there. But anyway, my point is,
Way to offend the Raiders
hey,
and the
no,
Wookiees in one.
I have nothing against Wookiees. I spent a little bit of time on Kashyyyk. I mean, granted, I was in the garrison there, but I mean, I spent some time there, and you're not always angry
Yeah,
at everybody. So
you destroyed a little Wookiee kid's toy.
what?
Wasn't that you that ripped the bantha toy head off of Lumpy's?
No, I wouldn't have done that. I never met them.
It's not what I heard.
No, I did not. I didn't do it. I didn't. I did not. I met some very nice Wookiees, and that's where I picked up the little bit of Wookiees that I know. But anyway, back on track.
Can you even say Happy Life Day in Wookiee?
No,
Right.
I think I know how to say happy. Happy day, maybe.
Hmm.
What are you expecting me to do it?
Yeah.
So they run across the Tuscan Raiders and more sand people, and Mando gives them I don't remember what
They're binoculars.
like
the binocs.
Yeah, the binocs. Toro was his name. Toro Kenakan or something like that.
Just Toro's fine.
Anyway, so he throws him Toro's binocs, and then they take off, passage through the land. They run across another bounty hunter dead, being dragged by his dewback. So they, kind of loot the corpse, and
so they say to the dewback, "Are you a dewback or a don't back?"
And at that point, they take fire from their target, who is holed up on a ridge of rocks, quite a distance away. And Mando takes a hit on the back of his armor, which only knocks him down.
It hits his Beskar.
Yeah.
And from that range, the Beskar held up. He kind of was hinting that it wouldn't have if she had been a little closer.
Yeah, but then it does, though, because they realize that they can't go now. They wait until dark, and
because she has the high ground.
Right, exactly. And you never attack somebody straight on if they have the high ground. Anyway, so they take off at night. They have these flares, and the flares work. Although she does get a beat on Mando and takes a shot, hits him straight in his brand new chest plate, and puts him off the bike. But it holds up, and they end up getting to her, and Toro starts a fight with her, gets his ass beat, and then that gives time for Mando to get around and
have her at gunpoint.
Have her at gunpoint. They have her shackle herself, and then they head down to the bike, which now there is only one of.
There's one bike. There's three of them. So so Mando goes to get the don't back.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, What's the guy's name?
Toro.
Toro and the assassin. What's her name?
I can't remember.
Does she have a name?
Yeah, I just watched it. We
Yeah,
joked, yeah, and I can't
this is
remember. I don't know why.
the other reviews we've done. We've watched the episodes 2 or 3, maybe even 4 times. But this
Yeah,
one,
but
we
I'm
literally just watched it
yeah, and I'm under really
under the gun.
tight schedule right now. So
Yeah.
They went out to the bike, realized there was only one, of course, for three of them, and he says, "Go get the do back," and he doesn't want to, so Mando does it, and of course, right away, their target starts to. I thought she was going to try to seduce him.
Oh, I didn't.
Well, anyway, then she starts talking about how high of a target he is, and
Mando.
how Mando is, and how
if he really wants to get in the guild, he'd bring the Mando in.
Right, exactly. He'd be legendary.
And she'd team up with him and help him. But of course, being a mercenary, he's like, "Oh well, thanks for the tip," and he shoots her.
Yep.
And then makes his way back
later.
Hours later.
Hours later, Mando gets back on the don't back and realizes she's dead, and he's just like heads back to town. Takes him all night or all day to get there, and pretty much realizes what's going on right up front, and heads back into the cantina. Was it the canteen? No.
Not the canteen. The garage where she's working on the ship.
Yeah, that's right. And baby in hand and gunpoint. She's under gunpoint.
Uses the flash, the blinder.
The flash to blind him, and then ends up shooting him dead, getting Baby Yoda back,
paying up his ship, and
then
I'm confused about the last shot. Does he go back to where the bounty was and kick at her body to see if she's dead, or is that somebody else doing that?
I don't know.
It's kind of vague.
Yeah.
So we don't know if Mando is. It doesn't make sense that Mando would go back because he must have assumed that she was dead.
Yeah.
Unless he wanted to verify because he didn't want her coming after him.
Well, not only that, but a lot of bounties still can be paid with proof of.
True. Yeah.
Their death.
Right.
So, but he's no longer a bounty hunter, so it's not like he can collect.
No, he can't.
Not in the guild anymore.
The only way he could do this job is because he had the front of Toro being able to collect, and then he could give him the money. He wouldn't have been able to just do the bounty hunter job.
Right. Exactly. I'm glad that they didn't throw a bunch of people that we've seen before in the cantina. In fact, it's dead.
It's completely different aliens.
And it's pretty much dead. There's
no hammerhead, no B. Arthur.
Yep, no snaggletooth.
Mm-hmm. There's a giant fly, and then there's some other stuff.
There's like
it wasn't dead. It was probably just a mid-afternoon day.
Yeah, that's possible. Not everybody on Tatooine just sits there and drinks. It gave a little bit of insight. I think we knew this pretty much, but the Sand People are one of the indigenous races to Tatooine.
Yes, yeah. They consider others to be on their land.
Yes. So that's why Mando had respect for them and actually communicated with them. I love it how they just pop up out of nowhere. It's like it's like they're in the sand and they're just like
oh yeah, he's like, oh, those a-hole Tusken Raiders. He's like, why don't you tell them yourself?
Yeah, and they're right there.
So is that Tusken Raiders, is that their real faces or is that some kind of mask?
No, that's a mask. I remember some just wearing canvas over their faces as well.
Oh.
I really enjoy when we get to see variations of tech.
I've always said it before. I could spend an entire hour in the cantina just hanging out.
Right? Yeah, exactly. So, I was looking to see if we could see the exact place that Solo was sitting, and see if there's if there's still blaster marks on the wall. I'll have to watch it a couple more times and really kind of deep dive.
Well, that sounds like a press play.
At the press play.
Press
Yeah.
play
Another
for me
excellent
too.
episode. Thank you very much, Jon Favreau.
And Dave Filoni, director.
And Dave Filoni. Yeah, great, incredible direction on this episode as well.
Yeah.